Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to the farm. I need help. So I'm about to cry uncle here. I need help, man. So you'll see the cow dipping its head way down into the water trough right here. So this is the siphoning system that we designed, I guess back in January, February-ish, and we set all this up. We have a 3/4 inch poly pipe that goes through here, and it feeds our water tank. So we've got a water tank right down here and a water tank down here, and then the pipe continues all the way down the line here. Now we're in an area of the farm that stays rather shaded. So this black poly pipe, it does get warm, it does get hot, and we'll talk to you a little bit more about that. But we are losing siphon, constantly losing siphon, and I don't know why. So we're gonna troubleshoot the system today, and I need your feedback. So if you're a plumber type, or if you've ever worked with a siphoning system like this, please post comments down there. Give me some ideas of what in the world to do. I've been troubleshooting this for probably 3 or 4 days. I'll reprime the pump, which means sucking on it, trying to draw that water back through the pipe. I'll get it primed, it'll start flowing, and it'll shut down again, and my water tanks will draw air. They'll suck air back up. So come along today, we're gonna have a little bit of fun, and we'll show you what's going on, and I need your help. All right? Woo! Well, I think the cows are entertained by this video too, guys. So if this is your first time to the Stoney Ridge Farm channel, please jump in, pound the like button, subscribe to the channel. There's all kinds of fun stuff going on here on the farm. So let me describe our water system. I've got a valve in my hand, but let me describe our water system to you guys so you understand what's going on. And we'll be up here at the pond in just a minute. So at the pond, which this is our pond dam right across here, at the pond, there is a filter system under the water and a float that holds that system in place, okay? So that system stays in the pond and it picks up water via siphon. Now there's probably 10 or 12 foot of drop from the top of the pond down here to where I'm standing or to the level of this pipe. It's probably 10 foot of drop. So we should have some good pressure. One of you guys that knows about how much pressure we'd have in a 3/4 inch pipe for 10 foot of drop, let me know. So we should have somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 30 PSI down here. Now, what I'm experiencing is our pipe is losing prime. Now, there are several potential causes for our pipe to develop air pockets in it, and I think it's called being air locked. So an air pocket is getting somewhere in this pipe, and the highest point down here is right here. So what I've already done for the highest point in our pipe is put in a valve right here to open up so that the air will burp out. So this is the highest point on the fence where we're watering right here, okay? So the pipe comes out of the pond, it goes over the hill, and I put in, the other day, again, troubleshooting, I put in a swing check valve. And you'll see this valve, it has an arrow on it right there. The way this works is water flows in the direction of the arrow. So you can see I can blow in it, air goes through, water goes through. If it's the other way, nothing goes through. You hear that? So there's a little swinging valve in there, a little brass swinging valve. You can hear it shaking in there. So that's what I put just below the level of the pond. So the water comes up, it goes over the pond, it goes into the swing check valve so that no air and no water will force its way back up to the highest point here. I thought that would work, dude. I totally thought that would work, but it didn't work. So right now, currently, there is water in this pipe. It goes all the way down here to a valve on the end, and no water is flowing through the valve on the end. Where in the heck is the water? Where is it going? So I'm gonna turn this tank on, and you'll see this is a float valve, a Dare float valve on our tank. I'll post a link down there in the video description to that Dare float valve. That is filling up this tank. What it's filling it up with is water that's currently in this pipe. Sometimes when I turn that valve on, it will prime the system again. In other words, it's air all the way into the pond, but when I turn the water on, it sucks enough it brings enough suction to suck air down into this. So suggestions, needing suggestions. Now, either there is air getting in the system here, or the pipe is getting too hot and causing little micro air bubbles, and those air bubbles are traveling back up the line. Now, if they're traveling back up the line, wouldn't the swing check, you plumber guys, let me know, wouldn't the swing check stop it? So in other words, wouldn't that check valve go into place, and just like this, it would stop it. It should stop it. It's not stopping it. The air is going right back up through there. So we got two choices. We either have a hole upstream somewhere that I don't know of, and it's such a low pressure system, it could be a teeny tiny hole and it's just not showing up. It's either a hole up there, or the heat is causing this, or we ran over the pipe up there and that smushed the pipe and caused it to be compressed, therefore constricting water flow, and this requires more water flow than the constricted water flow. So did I squish the pipe, and is that causing the whole situation? Well, let's talk about what we have in the back of the Kubota here, because we've got a bunch of parts and a bunch of stuff that we're going to test out today. This is going to be a fun day, a fun video, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get this solved. But I want your guys' feedback, so please leave some feedback down there, okay? Okay, let's open the back of the Kubota up and we'll show you all the cool toys we've got going on. First thing we got going on, we got about a 35, 40-year-old generator back here. This is a John Deere 1100 generator that I got from my dad. My dad said, that thing won't run, it won't work. It needs a new fuel this and a new that, and watch this. That's awesome. That's full throttle, and that's idle right there. So back in the day, John Deere had these little generators, and that is a stout little generator. That thing will probably last as long as I live. Check it out. Very, very cool. We'll turn it off for now. So the reason I have this generator is because I have a pump. So I purchased a pump on Amazon, and this is just a submarine pump. They call it a submarine or sump pump, and it runs off of 120. Had I been thinking, I probably should have just got one you could clip onto your battery, but I wanted something that was a little more power, had a little more kick to it. So I've got the pump set up, and I also have some new pipe. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go up, we're gonna pull the filter out of the pond, and we're gonna replace that section of pipe, and we're gonna lay down some channel, and I'll show you what I'm talking about by channel. This channel allows you to run over your pipe, and there's some of it right here. This is from Titan Attachments, palletforks.com. And there'll be a discount code down in the video description down there. Those guys are partners of the channel here, so they provide us with a 5% discount. Awesome, a stackable discount, I believe. So if you've got a camper or something like that in your yard or in your driveway and you don't want to run over the cords, that is an awesome solution. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our smush pipe. I'll show you the smush pipe. We'll pull the hose out. We're going to replace it with this 150-foot piece of 3/4 inch poly, and then we're going to prime it again and see if it works. If that doesn't work, let me show you the setup here with this little pump. So the pump, water flows this way with the pump. This is going to be teed in. This is a piece of water hose. It's going to be teed in to my poly pipe if our prime setup doesn't work. This will be teed into my poly pipe, and I have a valve right here. So we cut the end of the water hose off, and we put a male connector on this end, or excuse me, a female connector on this end, and a female connector on that end. It's about a, I don't know, 3-foot section of water hose. Now over here on this side, which is the outlet port, we put on a 3/4 inch piece of poly. And on that 3/4 inch piece of poly, we also put another T. So we can disconnect this from the system if we want to, or we can leave it connected all the time. Now I may need to put a valve in place, but the idea was to keep these two up there all the time by the pond in case I ever lose prime. All I gotta do is toss the little John Deere generator in there, go up, plug it in, and reprime the system without having to suction that pipe, draw air on that pipe, or draw water out. That is nasty. That pond water, I mean, it's not gross, it doesn't taste bad, but it's not purified, and I don't want to get a tummy ache. It's good for the cows though. So we're gonna go on up to the top of the hill. We're gonna pull the filter out. We'll show you what's up. This video might take a few minutes, guys, but I hope you'll enjoy the struggle and you'll learn a little bit from this in case you want a passive watering system for your cattle or for anything on your farm. If you want to fill up a pond that's downstream, that's away from a water site, this will do it. This will do it for sure, if it doesn't mess up. How do I know the cows aren't dehydrated? Every one of them came down here and peed. Let's go to the pond. All right, we're up here at the pond. It is pretty. I had a guy out here fishing. He's a grandson of my neighbor, and he caught a 6.1 pound bass out of here, man. Oh, that's awesome. He's up here fishing right now. He's got all his fishing poles. I think he's a man on a mission. Doing some fishing. Oh, my pants leg got caught. So we're up here at the top. We were right down there, and this is the system. So this is the float system that sits in the pond, and just beyond that float system is the intake for the pipe. There is no way that that will pick up air, and really all it has to do is lift it over the dam, and this is only probably 2 feet that it has to lift it up and over, and right down here is my check valve. So let's pull this thing out and I'll show you how squished the pipe is. It's pretty squished, and we have in the back of the Kubota right here, we've got the track system that we're going to lay out here on the dam. This is the channel system right here, guys, and it comes in a it comes in a feed sack. It's pretty appropriate for the farm. What we ordered was the heavy duty system here, and this is called cable hose protector, and it's heavy. So this probably weighs 25 pounds, maybe 35 pounds. And underneath here, I'll bring the camera in a little closer so you can see. You've probably seen these on the channel before if you're not new to the channel. So underneath there is a channel right in here that will house cables and hoses. This is a heavy duty critter. It will take, gosh, how many thousands of pounds? It'll take thousands and thousands of pounds. So you can run over this with a semi truck and it'll be all right. Let me show you how this goes together. See, there's 2 little black tabs right here, and it's like Legos almost. That'll go and lock into 2 grooves that are right here. Just like that. And it all locks together. Now you got holes down through here, so you could put spikes down in to keep it in place, or you could bolt it to the floor if you're working in like a factory setting or your garage or something like that. And then we just lift these up and we lay the pipe in. All right, I'm of the opinion waste not, want not. So we're just gonna cut out the section of smushed pipe right here. And it's only a section probably about, I don't know, 15 feet long. Now you gotta think in this system, these are compression type fittings with stainless steel hose clamps on them. So you also have to think that every connection is a potential point of failure in this system. So if we're getting air into the system, it's most likely either a nick in it, a cut, a mouse chewed on it, or it's at one of the junctions where these pipes go together. Again, I had no troubles with this for a long time. I mean, we're into July tomorrow, so I had no troubles at all with this for a long time. And then all of a sudden, I turned one of the valves off down there. More to the story. I turned one off so I could clean out one of the tanks. I was going to turn off one tank, clean it, turn it back on, turn the other tank off, and clean it, and turn it back on, so our cows always had nice fresh water, because inevitably they'll get some dirt and grass and stuff in them. That must have been the key maneuver to cause this thing to lose prime. So it lost prime once I turned off one of those water tanks. It doesn't make any sense, does it? It totally doesn't. I'm gonna pull this filter system out and show it to you real quick. All right, this is our float, and I can hear water coming out of the filter right here. That's our filter. We'll show you that in a second. This is our float, and this is zip tied on to the pipe. This is just basically a solid piece of pipe with 2 caps put on it so that it would float out in the pond and that it would prevent it from washing over the dam if we ever had a flood. This is our filter, and although it looks kind of nasty, it's not. It's got probably 150 holes throughout here and zip ties around a piece of window screen, and this is plastic window screen. So there's probably, I'm going to say again, maybe 100 holes in here, and it all feeds this 3/4 inch pipe. So there's no way this is blocked. It is not blocked at all, and we'll show you how we know there's no way, because when we cut the pipe, we're going to blow into it, and there's no obstruction whatsoever. So I've got my pipe cutter. This is a little inexpensive pipe cutter. We're going to get up here and cut it at the point that I start seeing smushage. Smushage is going to be the word. So I'm going to cut it right here. Just that simple. No trash really in the pipe. We're going to go over here and cut on down the line just a little ways. This is what the normal 3/4 inch pipe should look like, okay? That's what it should look like. And in the most smushed part, that's right here. Let's cut this out. In that most smushed part, that's what it looks like. Not a big difference, man. Not a big difference, and there's no hole in this pipe. I guess maybe this is the most squished area. Right there. That's the most squished. Is that causing restricted flow and causing some air to kind of, I don't know what you call it, an air current, I guess, inside the pipe right there? And once it gets down to the bottom of the hill, there's not enough force for all the air to burp its way out? Is that what's causing this? Comments, guys, leave comments. First thing we're going to try here is we're going to replace that section of pipe, and we're going to get our siphon going again and cross our fingers that that solves the problem. If that doesn't solve the problem, we also have the swing check. I may remove the swing check and take it on down the line. I think a low pressure system, again, one of you plumber guys let me know. I don't think a swing check is going to work on a low pressure system. I think the pressure coming back is so low and slow that it's not enough to close the check valve. Who knows? Let me replace this pipe and we'll show you how we siphon it. So you guys know this is how they're connected together. So there's a coupling in here and 2 hose clamps. We'll put our hose clamp on. We want both hose clamps facing the same direction if possible, so it's not a pain in the butt to fix. And then we press it together just like so. Oh. Okay, and I'll take my trusty 11-in-1 Klein screwdriver. I did a video dedicated to this screwdriver. This thing's awesome. We'll tighten her up just like so, and I snug it on up pretty good, about as tight as I can go without breaking the clamp. Should be no problem with air. Okay, back in the water. Nice. Boy, I got a nice mouthful of pond water on that one. Let's take it down here and show you the flow. We get awesome flow down here, man. We'll step down over the edge of the dam, just like so. And every time I do this, we get great flow. That is a full 3/4 inches of water right there. Right up and right over the dam. We're only about maybe 2 feet below where we started the siphon. No air bubbles, no air pockets, no nothing, and a pretty forceful stream of nice cool pond water. It's cool up underneath that, where that inlet is. It's probably 16 inches down. Okay, so with a full 3/4 inch wall of water coming down through here, we'll hook up our 2 pipes together. Snug as a bug. We're going to tighten this clamp up. I can feel the pipe getting heavier down the line, and I can also tell just by tapping my finger on it. And I've worked with this thing enough, I've fought with this thing enough that I could tell by tapping my finger on it how much water is in the pipe. And what I do is come up here when I lose prime and I tap my back of my fingers on that, and there's nothing at all. Okay. All right, let's go downstream and see what's up. Okay, we've got water. We've got water down here. You can see, got a little bit of pressure, but not a lot. We've got less pressure down here than we had up there. It doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna shut this one off, and then we're gonna go all the way out to the end. Now this valve again is at the high point in this system right here. Okay, it's the high point in the system along the fence. Now we're going to go all the way down to the end, and we'll turn that valve on and see if it burps out all the air. All right, now we're on down the line a little ways, and this is our valve at the lowest point. Okay, see how much water flow we've got? It's a lot less water flow. There it goes, it's coughing, and man, fingers crossed that smushed pipe was the problem, but it's just stopped. Like just now, it just stopped. So here's the scenario. If this is lower than that up there, no matter if I hold it here or if I hold it down low, it should continuously pump water. It should continuously pump water. You see it stop right there? So it must be burping more and more air out as we go. That smushed pipe might be the solution to all of our problems. Man, if any of you guys can think of a better way or a better design aside from putting like a solar pump in here, I want it to be passive. I want it to be totally passive, and we're looking into some solar options so that we can pump water way over onto the other side of the farm from the pond. I see no reason to drill a $10,000 well, agricultural well out here to water my cows when I have huge ponds and creeks all over the farm. We tried to do the right thing. We fenced our cows out of the creek, out of any waterways. We stayed at least 25 feet from any waterway, and we're going to be moving our cows and intensively grazing once we get our herd built up. So I'm doing it all right, and I keep getting punished for doing it right. So now I should be able to raise this up and water should continuously flow. It's not, it stops. So what I've done in the past here is I've raised and lowered this a couple times, maybe 5-10 times, until I get constant flow. And that, I feel like, is working all the air out. And I can feel, I have the other swing check valve just in case. I may put that swing check right here so that air doesn't back up. If I put my finger on it and I turn it down, let me show you real quick. So I get a wall of water that comes out, heavy flow. Then it will back off again a little bit. Why is it doing that? What's going on? Is there air void? Is there holes? What's up? What's going on? I should get flow, whether it's down or whether it's right here at my face. This should be flowing the same rate that it flowed up there at the top. So that's it, guys. Scratching my head here. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna keep bringing this up and down and up and down, and I think I'm gonna put this swing check valve in here so that no air can back up once I lower it down. I think we're drawing air from the end right here, or we're drawing air from one of the water tanks for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Help me, help me. Post your comments down there. I'll keep you guys updated on the watering system here. I hope this is better than it's been in a long time. So I hope that we've solved our problem, but you can see it's still not constant flow. It should be constant. There it goes. Help me out. Guys, post comments down there. Let me know. That's our water system for our cows here. It's a siphon system. It's totally passive. And when it works, it kicks butt. When it doesn't work, it is the most frustrating thing that I have to deal with here on the farm. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. Pound that like button. If you're not subscribed, jump in here and subscribe. I'd love to have you back here on the farm with us. Me, you, and the cows, and we're gonna have a new addition to our cow herd sometime in the next probably 4 or 5 days. We're gonna have a baby. 4th of July baby. Awesome. See you next time. Woo!
Well, come on down.